Life can be unpredictable. The joys, the sorrows, distressing difficulties can come upon us unexpectedly. Our dreams and our plans can change in an instant when we least expect it. But as Christians, how can we find peace when we go through turbulent times? Don't scroll. Let me tell you a story. The story is told about the writer of one of my favorite hymns, It Is Well With My Soul. The hymn was written by an attorney or lawyer known as Horatio Gates Spafford, who was born in New York on October 20th, 1828 in the city of Chicago. He had become very well known as a Christian who shared his testimony. He was married to his wife Anna, and both of them were very active in their church. They always opened their rooms to visitors in their house and were counted as, genuine Christians. They had, met actually one of the famous evangelists at the time, Dwight L. Moody, who actually had become a friend of the families. The family, Horatio and Hannah, were actually blessed with 5 children and were considered as at the time to be very wealthy. Horatio owned several properties in the city of Chicago. But unfortunately, one day, tragedy struck the family. Unlike Job, who lost everything in an instant, Horatio actually experienced his tragedy over a period of time. One day, their 4-year-old son, Horatio Jr., suddenly died of scarlet fever. Then, a year after that, in October 1871, there was a massive fire that had swept through the city of downtown Chicago and destroyed several properties, including properties that were owned by Horatio. Unfortunately, on that day, almost 300 people had lost their lives and around 100,000 people were made homeless. Despite that tragedy and I'm guessing big financial loss, Horatio opened up his home and actually tried to help other people who had become homeless in their city. They did that to demonstrate the kind of Christians that they were and the love that they had for God and for mankind. 2 years later, in 1873, Horatio decided that he was going to have him and his family go for a holiday in England. So he sent his wife Anna and their 4 other children to go ahead of him for the trip that he was going to join them later. Because there was something that he needed to do. He had to settle some business back in Chicago. So he sent his children 4, his daughter who was 11, their 9-year-old Margaret Lee, 5-year-old Elizabeth, and their 2-year-old Tanita. On 22nd of November 1873, whilst the ship that was carrying Horatio's wife and children were crossing the Atlantic Ocean on the steamship, which was known as I believe it's called Ville de Havre, their vessel was struck by an iron sailing ship and 260 people lost their life as the ship sank within 12 minutes. Unfortunately, all 4 of Horatio Spafford's daughters perished, except his wife, who was saved. After that, a message was sent to Horatio, who was later reunited with his wife. Horatio had decided that he was going to, before he reunited with his wife, that he was going to, of course, had to go on another ship. Whilst he was on the ship going, they got to a point when the captain had called him and was telling him that it was at this particular point was when that ship carrying his 4 children and his wife had drowned. It was in that moment, I believe, the sadness, the pain, the uncertainty, the why, was when Horatio penned down the song, It Is Well With My Soul. The lyrics says, When peace like a river attended my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well. Many people kind of translate or interpret this song as a reflection of how peace can be found in times of distress and sadness. What would you have done if you had been the one that had faced so much tragedy in a short span of time, and even more sad, losing 4 of your children on the same day? Can we, like Horatio, be able to look up into the heavens and say, it is well, it is well, it is well? I don't know what you may be going through. I don't know what tragedy may have befallen you. I know that we are in a dispensation where each of us is fighting something one way or the other. Today, I want to encourage you. May we, like Horatio Spafford, look up into the heavens, and no matter the sorrow we are going through, tell ourselves, it is well, it is well, it is well. God will never leave us nor forsake us, no matter what we are going through. The beautiful part is they ended up, having more children, faced more tragedies, but their faith was never wavered. Actually, Hannah Horatio actually said that even though she had quite a lot of questions about why that had happened to her, she always had a still small voice that was encouraging her, which was the Holy Spirit. And she knew that someday she would understand why all those tragedies had befallen her and her family. Don't lose hope. There is a purpose in the pain. Be encouraged. God bless you.